energy healing. So chances are you've probably heard of this word before, popping up online, or maybe someone in real life has mentioned to you about this healing modality. And yes, I'm talking about the people that claim that they can heal back pain to even releasing emotional traumas from PTSD using this invisible energy around our body. And no, I'm not talking about the people that use crystals and sages and things like that, but really in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the practical guide of looking at energy healing from the perspective as a doctor that uses integrative medicine to help my patients in managing their acute and chronic diseases. And in this video, I will also talk to you about my own personal experience with energy healing, so hopefully that will give you more of an idea and knowledge and when to use it for yourself. Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Yuan, and on this channel I teach you about the science of integrative medicine and different therapies to help you live a happier, healthier life. So, what is energy healing? So energy healing implies that there is this invisible energy around our bodies, okay? And basically this invisible energy influences our physical and psychological health. Now in science, the field that does research on this is called Biofield Sciences. And basically the biofield is this field of invisible energy and information that influences our physiological health. So we understand that there are many different types of energy healing modalities. Some of them include popular ones such as Reiki, pranic healing, healing touch, quantum healing, but also things such as acupuncture and laying of hands and many other different modalities. It's important to understand that the concept of energy healing is not new at all. It only feels new because mainstream science, research, and certain medical institutions have been incorporating more of these energy healers into the system and practice of helping patients cope and manage with their diseases. And this is important because energy healing is really beyond the philosophy of just a treatment. It is really a bigger idea that our health, right, our physical body, our emotions, and our thoughts are connected to this invisible energy around us. And again, for thousands of years, many other ancient healing practices, such as traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and native indigenous medicine, has all talked about the same thing. And that same thing is basically there's this invisible life force, this energy that surrounds our body, that penetrates our body, and influences our health. Okay? And again, with the field of biofield sciences, it is a relatively new research area, but there have been studies done in the past few decades that have studied different energy healing modalities that I have mentioned. And basically, the premise of energy healing is that just like our body, just like when we have any issues going on, there is a dysfunction in our body. That can be in the cellular physiological level, that could be in the level of our nervous system regulation, that can be in the level of our metabolism. All of these things we can measure using different types of tests in science and medicine. The challenge is with energy healing is that there is no device to 100% reflect the invisible energy that these energy healing practitioners and all these healing traditions have been talking about. There have been attempts to define and sort of paint the picture of what this energy healing looks like and how it works before and after using different types of imaging such as Kirlian photography, but nothing really concrete yet in the field of science that can accurately and precisely and consistently measure this invisible field of energy. And this measurement is very important because, again, going back to how energy healing works is that when disease arises, there are basically two states that have occurred. okay? It's either the energy is depleted and low, that there's not enough of it, or on the other end, it's congested. There's too much of it and it's like a bottleneck, okay? And for an example, in people with chronic pain, usually in the field of acupuncture, we describe that as stagnation, which means the energy, or what Chinese medicine calls qi, is not flowing. And basically there's this traffic, this buildup on this highway, this energy highway. So you can think of it also like just how we need to have proper blood flow circulating through our vessels. We need to do the same for our energy. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we look at this through different patterns, which is very different from Western medicine, which gives people a diagnosis, which is very concrete, and it describes, of course, very specific symptoms that relate to this diagnosis. But in traditional Chinese medicine, it describes disease in patterns, basically saying that the body is out of balance, and in order to restore balance, we have to do certain things to correct the energy. And this is where acupuncture comes in, this is where traditional Chinese herbs come in, and of course many other movement therapies such as Qigong and Tai Chi. These are all ways to balance and restore the body's energy. And now we've understand sort of the causes of disease and dysfunction in the body relating to energy healing. How we can fix it is again through balancing it. And this is where we move the energy, we add more energy into the system where things are imbalanced. So just like if your phone is low on battery charge, it's not able to do certain things very well. So this is again where I talk about energy deficiency. So we need to support the system by adding more energy into that particular area. And this is how acupuncture works, by using certain points and stimulating those points to help move more blood, more of this qi or energy into this location to support the organ. Now, vice versa, when you have this stagnation, when you have this energetic congestion, which is very common for people that have physical pain or emotional anxiety, depression, basically the body is being suppressed. There is not a proper flow of this energy moving, and we use different acupuncture points to help move it. Now, acupuncture, of course, uses these thin, tiny needles to stimulate the body. But with energy healing, really the concept that is hard for people to understand is that these energy healing practitioners are able to use and manipulate this energy without even touching the patient or the client. And again, how this works is that they are using their own energy, right? Their biofield is what science calls it, and they are transferring, adding energy into the system, or helping them remove and clear out the stagnation that is present within their system. And these energy healers have reported that they are able to feel, able to detect these imbalances. And what is described is basically, it's like a invisible electric magnetic sensation where they can feel the stuck energy, the congestion, which feels heavy. It can feel almost painful when they pass through the area. And that's how they locate the area of dysfunction within the biofield. And again, these practitioners include energy healing modalities such as Reiki, pranic healing, healing touch, quantum healing, and many more. And all of this really works on the same energy. It's just the different ways they go about it. And this is where I come to talk about my experience using energy healing as a person that was a patient and now is a doctor specializing in integrative medicine. And the reason I enjoy and actually benefited from using energy healing was because it was able to help me deal with my not only physical health issues, but the emotional and mental side as well. And what I mean is that I grew up with chronic severe eczema, which of course is a inflammatory skin condition. And because it was very severe, I had to be on topical steroids, I had to be on moisturizers, basically every day, or else my skin would just get really red, really inflamed, and I would look like a tomato. But not only was that present, I had the deep emotional anxiety, depression from my body just kind of not working and not feeling great. So what's amazing that I found with energy healing, and I've learned to practice it on myself, is that it addresses the physical and the emotional side as well. So there is no separation. Just like two sides of the same coin, your physical body, how you feel, will affect your mental and emotional health state, right? And how you feel mentally and emotionally will also, vice versa, affect your physical body. So this is what we call the mind-body connection, and there's an amazing field of science called psychoneuroimmunology that looks into this, which looks at, again, how our thoughts, how our emotions affects our immune system. And for me, really, once I learned the practice of energy healing, it was so simple. And the way that I describe it from my personal experience is just like how we have physical hygiene, right? When we touch something dirty, we wash our hands, we take a shower. Same thing, when we come into contact with energy that is not ours, that is heavy, dirty, congested, it affects us. It affects us physically, it affects us emotionally, whether that's coming from the outside or whether it's coming from us. And the experience, the way that I describe it is, in addition to energy hygiene, is like when you walk into a room. When you walk into a room and you meet people for the first time, you can tell immediately if this person has sort of a good vibe or maybe a questionable or negative vibe, right? And that is basically our fundamental way of sensing or feeling energy, in which people call, just vibes. With energy healing modalities, of course, it gets a little bit more fine-tuned, where you can, of course, check the different areas of the body where there is any heaviness or stagnation or depletion. But the goal really is to understand that this energy affects all of us, and we are swimming in a pool of either healthy, supportive energy or a pool of negative, heavy, dirty energy. And you can see this really when you go outside into nature where there's lots of trees, running water. The energy there is so light, so clean, so helpful for the body to heal. And there have been studies that have shown that, yes, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest nervous system, versus when you go into a highly densely populated city, right, where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stress energy going on, there's a lot of worry, anxiety, and it's almost like energetic pollution, right? You walk into a place and you automatically know, for some of us, that this is just icky. There's just something wrong about this environment, this room, and you just want to step out. So speaking of, this energy, there have been scientific research articles and different studies that have looked into the practice and the mechanism by which this energy healing works. And I will have to put a caveat that although there are not as many studies produced currently and out there in the literature, current science is still catching up to understand what this energy healing or what Biofield Therapies is about. But in terms of the current literature, there have been studies that have looked at energy healing for, of course, supporting mental and emotional health, looking at inflammation markers, looking at reducing pain levels, supporting various different types of conditions such as cancer, autoimmune conditions, skin conditions, etc. And most of these studies have shown that energy healing works better than placebo. And these review articles say that although the mechanism is unknown, energy healing in certain studies have worked better than placebo, because that tends to be sort of the number one argument, right? If I am not touching you and I'm quote unquote manipulating this invisible energy around you, are you getting better just because you're relaxed? You're sitting, you're calm, you're not doing anything stressful, is it just because of that? And again, certain studies have shown that yes, energy healing works better than placebo, which is not the case to say for a lot of different drugs. But the whole point of this video, again, is to outline that there is this invisible energy out there in our bodies. Whether we feel it or not, that comes with practice. But these healing modalities, these energy healing therapies, have shown quite interesting and almost surprising results. And because it is so simple, because there is such a high benefit to cost ratio, which means you potentially will get some benefits or a lot of benefits, and if it doesn't work, it really doesn't have any side effects. But to understand that there is an option out there that we can use on a daily basis without having to need any tools, any machines, any drugs, right? But of course, in addition to everything that we also do to have a foundation of a healthy lifestyle, which is for sleep, for nutrition, exercise, things like that, it will support your health. And that's what it did for me. It helped me support my eczema journey. It really helped alleviate some of the physical symptoms and helped me get through that deep traumatic anxiety and depression because I've had it for so long. And so again, in this video, we talked about sort of what energy healing is, how science looks at it, the different types of therapies, and how energy healing works from a theoretical model. And we've looked at some studies that I have highlighted below and how it works better than placebo. And again, like with any new modality, even though energy healing is thousands of years old, further research is needed to substantiate a lot of these claims and to use it on a broad spectrum level in different hospitals and clinics and institutions. But I'm a big believer in it. I have used it. I've seen amazing transformation in people right before my eyes in a couple minutes. And I'm sure I'll talk about that in a later video. But thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love to hear about your experience with energy healing. And if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, please leave them below. I would love to answer them. And if you, again, love this video, please consider subscribing, as the goal of this channel is to build a community of like-minded people that support integrative medicine to support your health, to support your mind, and to help you live a happier, healthier life. That's it all for today. I'm Dr. Jason Yuan. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next video.